So today we're going to talk about why you should clear that clutter and 3 easy steps to get started. And if you stick around to the end, you get a bonus step. So let's get started. So why should you take care of your clutter? Well, obviously, because you're here watching this, it must bother you on some level. But the first reason is really it creates disorganization and chaos and difficulties in your life. Like, for example, when you can't find your keys. You have a place for them, but they don't always make it to that place. So you run around and you're trying to get out of the house. Maybe you're late and you can't find your keys. Or it's hard to get to things, or it's hard to put things away. It creates a sense of disorganization and chaos in your life, and none of us need that. A second reason why you might want to discard your clutter is because it's an overstimulating environment. There is such a thing that exists as decision overload. And when you have that many sources of stimulation for your brain, you're looking at things that are memories, you're looking at things that you have to address, you're looking at things that just get left or out or are too hard to put away, and clutters your brain with decisions about what I should do with this, where should I put that, how do I get started, what am I going to do about all this, what do other people think about me because of this, which leads me to another reason why you should clean up your house. Isolation is extremely damaging to our health, particularly in our later years where we all are. So a lot of times I know I don't want to have people in my home because I have too many things going on and it's a mess and disorganized. So that, just the thought of that, having somebody come over, would you be comfortable if somebody just showed up at your door? One of your best friends in the whole world showed up at your door, and would you feel comfortable letting them in to sit down and have a relaxing cup of tea and visit? If your answer is no, it's a bigger problem than just having a cluttered home. It's affecting your ability to socialize and maintain your support system in these later years. And finally, speaking of health and the isolation factor that plays into our health, all of that clutter is playing into our health too. Trip and fall hazards are 25% more prevalent in cluttered homes. You have all those wonderful tchotchkes out on the shelves. They're collecting dust. Dust have allergens in them. Are you having any breathing challenges? Are you on allergy medication? Maybe your displays are contributing to that. So those are our reasons for why we want to get rid of the clutter. Let's get started getting rid of the clutter. My favorite part. So I have 3 easy tips for you today and a bonus one, as I mentioned. The first one, you'll need 5 minutes and a trash bag. Set the timer for 5 minutes, grab your trash bag, and go through every room in your house and see if you can fill it. There's old newspapers, there's old papers, there's old envelopes, there's unopened promos, there's empty boxes from something you brought in and purchased and the box never got thrown away. There's instruction manuals and warnings that come with every boxed item nowadays, every item. Toss those in there. Just go through your house and see if you can fill it up in 5 minutes and then take it right out to the trash. You may not notice the difference right away, but I guarantee you'll feel it. So the next tip is 10 minutes long. If you have something to do that takes 10 minutes or less, do it immediately instead of putting it off. Now, I have to tell you, I have been organizing homes and offices and garages with people for 30 years. And 10 minutes, this 10-minute trick is pretty powerful. I had forgotten about it until I decided to do this video. And since I've done this video, I've been paying attention to it. And my home is so much cleaner and more organized. I have a big kitchen sink. There's no divider in it, so I can put pots and pans and all my dishes for the day in it, and I never see them. They're still not piled up, so they're above the counter level. And, I tell myself, okay, I'm just going to do them once. I'll save money and soap and all that other stuff if I just do it once after my last meal. Problem is, I don't really feel like doing it after my last meal. So then I end up leaving it until the next morning, and there's nothing worse than being greeted by a sink full of dirty dishes first thing in the morning when you're trying to get your coffee going. So take 10 minutes and do anything that you can complete in 10 minutes. After eating breakfast, put your dishes away. Wash them or put them in the dishwasher. Fold a load of clothes. Put away a load load of folded clothes. Wipe off your bathroom counters and clean your toilet. Clean your tub too. I think there's a big myth that we have to take a designated time to clean our whole house. Just cleaning your floors, you'd be surprised how much better your house looks if you just vacuum or sweep on a regular basis. And that you can vacuum or sweep a floor in 10 minutes or less for just one room. Start there. 10-minute rule. Try it. You'll be really surprised. Okay, the next tip. You'll need an empty box for our next tip. Grab the box, put it in the back of your clothes closet and leave it there. And every time you get ready to go out the door and you've tried on 3 different tops and 2 different bottoms and 3 pairs of shoes to look right, and some of those things don't fit right, they don't feel good on you, they're stained, or they're missing a button, or they're torn, toss them in the empty box. Seriously, anything that has any one of those conditions associated to it, just put it in the box. Maybe put the hanger in the box with it too if you really want to get carried away there. You want to leave that box back there until it's full. When it's full, take it to your donation center. Now, I don't agree with taking things to the donation center that are torn or damaged in any way or missing a button. But when you're starting out, you don't want to go back through this box. So that's kind of a hazard of starting this. Maybe later when you're a little more into the routine of it and you get through some of the stopping points, which are, I paid a lot of money for that item. I don't want to just toss it. It's brand new. Someday I'm going to be able to fit into that. I don't want to get rid of it. What if I need it? That's a big stopping block. What if I need it? You probably won't. You probably won't even miss it. And a year from now, you probably won't even remember it. Another question to ask yourself, what if I gain weight? I'll need those clothes if I gain weight. Well, if you toss those clothes, you may not gain the weight because you know that there's not an out. So just do it as quick as you can. It's a split-second decision. This doesn't feel right. I don't like it. It doesn't fit right. It has a stain. Off it goes into the box. And then when the box is full, take it out of the house. You'll find that as you do this, you will have less and less clothes, which will be a little frustrating for a while. I've been there more than once, more than twice, many times in my life. But once you do it for a little while, you'll realize how much money and time you are wasting when you go shopping if you don't really know what your core wardrobe is compared to all the clutter that's around it. You'll find that you'll spend less money, you'll be more attentive to your shopping choices if you take this step and declutter your closet. Okay, so those are the 3 action steps you can take, and I did promise you a 4th if you stuck around. So thanks for sticking around, and just a reminder, if you've found value in this video, I'm a new YouTuber, so I sure would appreciate a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I'm really happy you're here, and I hope that you come back often. The final bonus step is called in and out. If you think about it, you're really just managing inventory in your home. You're just like a storekeeper. When something goes out, when somebody buys something in the storekeeper brings something in to replace it. It's the same way with your home. You don't need to keep all those water bottles that you've gotten from every 5K run you've done your entire life. They're cluttering up your kitchen cabinets, which are probably pretty stuffed anyway. So keep one, but every time you bring a new one in, get rid of one. Winter gloves are one of them for me, and winter hats. I want to keep all my winter gloves and winter hats, but if one comes in, and that becomes your favorite, you probably don't need the one that was your favorite 3 years ago. Sentimental items. When my mother died, I brought a whole truckload of her things to my home, and I managed to fit them all in, and they looked wonderful, and I thoroughly enjoyed them, but at some point, I realized that my home looked kind of like half mine and half hers. So be selective about what you keep and what you toss. Keep in mind that in and out rule and practice it. Be kind to yourself, but do practice it. I'm bringing one of these, what do you draw? What are you drawn to that you want to make a collection of? Probably, maybe more than one collection. But those are the items you want to look at and say, okay, this is my storage space. I have this much space. I can have 10 of these items, and I saw a really cool one today that I want to add to the collection. You have to be ready to let go of one of them so that you can bring that new one in. It's the only way, because you can't add to your storage space. Well, you can. You can get a storage unit, but then you'll never see it. So that's the bonus tip for today. I really appreciate you being here. We've talked about the 3 ways that clutter affects your life and why you should get rid of it, and I've given you 3 action steps to do it. Let me know how it goes. I want to help. Living in a clutter-free environment is peaceful, freeing, and enjoyable, and calm, and allows you to have people in your home. Thanks so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.